Hello, everyone. Hope you guys have written today's question on GS4. Basically, I have taken three PYQs and all of them are 10 markers. As you know, how ethics portion is marked, which is 13 question for 10 marker and then 6 case studies. For the ethics section in the whole program, first we will be dealing with 10 marker questions, and then later for 3 or 4 sessions we'll take up case studies, and each ethics session will deal with one specific topic in the syllabus. Today it is for today the topic has been to deal with the ethics and interactions of how ethics and human values interact, and how ethics takes important place in public and private relationships. Keeping this in mind, let us start our session, and I'll share the model answers with you guys, and we'll take a look as to how to approach the questions of ethics. Okay. Now, on your screen, you'll be able to see how ethics and ethical values come into play in modern times. Okay. So, on your screen, you can have a look at the question, which is the crisis of ethical values in modern times is traced to a narrow perception of the good life. Discuss. See, for ethics while writing answer, you can do two things. Either you can write in points like we write in other GS paper, or you can write small paragraphs as well, like 2 to 3 line paragraphs, and complete your answer in paragraph forms. It's advised, if you have a chance, you try to go for point wise, and if it is if you are not able to interpret the question as to how to generate points, even paragraph style would be sufficient. You just have to discuss and you just have to elaborate on what is being asked. And from your notes, try to pick up the ethical points or examples, etc. So, we'll start with some of the easy questions, and as we progress in our session, later we'll take more conceptually difficult and challenging questions. Let's see. So for this, what are we supposed to do? It's clearly asking how in modern times there is a crisis of ethical values, which is a result of narrow perception, how we perceive narrowly what a good life means. For example, we just think material welfare or uh, by hook or crook means we just think that that good life can be achieved, but that is not the case. So we have to elaborate on it. So let's see. Like, the modern perception of good life often emphasizes material wealth, success, and individual achievements. This narrow concept of well-being to physical, and this narrows the concept. Okay, so that is how you will give a small introduction. If you are able to find some example, which you will find plenty, just write some examples here. For example, we think this. Okay. um and now try to generate some point, like crisis of ethical values, a result of narrow perception of good life, right? Very good connecting statement, and then you write your points, 4 points, 5 points, however much as possible. And because it is not like other typical GS paper, your points can be bigger because you have to give example and use ethical words, keywords. For example, here we can write the pursuit of limited version of a good life leads to erosion of ethical values like honesty, empathy, and integrity. We are discussing here, so we have to discuss everything and elaborate. Okay. So, a society often rewards outcomes over processes, sidelining moral consideration. For example, doping cases in sports, and you can also give example of sports player, sports person, like Russian doping scandal. You can give the example of. Okay. And then you have to give other examples, like how in corporate scandals like Satyam scandal or financial crisis, etc., how it has led to compromised ethical standards. Okay. Further, it also leads to uh, poor well-being for their customers as well. and societal value, social cohesion itself is being compromised. Then, in contrast, ancient societies, see, try to give a contrast with modern and ancient times, because it is given in the question itself the term modern times. So, in contrast, ancient societies influenced by religious values, cohesion, Buddhism, etc. You can say that the moral virtues took precedent over narrow gain, and that furthered harmony and social responsibility. Okay. This narrow focus results in social fragmentation, social inequalities, and environmental degradation. Now here you will have plenty of example from environmental point of view, legal point of view, etc. Try to give as many example and as many points as possible. This is just a template answer. You can and you will of course write way better answer than this by using a lot of contemporary example. And where you will find it? You will find all the contemporary examples in newspapers itself. And whatever you find in newspaper, compile list of all the examples which you think is relevant as per the syllabus, and you will be able to generate plenty of good examples which you can recycle in other answers as well. So that is how you'll be approaching ethics. And then redefining the good life to include virtues such as altruism, sustainability, community well-being can help overcome the crisis of ethical values. See, there are other ways to write the answer as well, where we can include table, where we can include a lot of flow charts and diagrams. But this is only beginner level understanding of breaking the questions. We will try to include diagrams, etc. later on. But first, try to uh, write the answers, which is very important. The issue which people face in ethics is that they don't understand what to write and how to write. Value addition is a later component, but first you need to understand what you are supposed to write, because oftentimes we confuse what we have to write. And then let's move forward to the second question. See, the answers you can see are smaller as compared to other GS1, because the points, the examples, it will be unique to each one of you. And the unique your example and the more relevant to topic it is, the higher you will score. Okay. And also, in case you have any doubts regarding how to approach question, where to collect examples from, or anything, and how to get your answer evaluated, please comment on the video below, and your comments will be read and it will be answered. Don't worry about it, and try to follow the session regularly. It will be beneficial, especially if you have just started answer writing. And if your mains is in 2026, 25, 27, please try to look at the approach to answer writing, because we often delay these things, and later on the level and sophistication of that is required from your answer, it just keeps on increasing. If you do not start today, it will be problematic tomorrow. This is the time actually till February. After that, you'll just involve yourself in complete prelims mode. So try to make use of the time you have. Explain how ethics contributes to social and human well-being. Very straightforward question. Ethics and contributing to social and human well-being. Okay. Simple question. So that will be used as a connector line. And you can either define ethics in the introduction part, or you can just elaborate what the question is in one or two line as in your introduction, especially in ethics. For example, ethics is crucial for the well-being of individual and society. It provides the framework for trust, justice, and mutual respect. It ensures interactions are conducted with integrity and fairness. And then ethics role in contributing to human well-being. Then you can generate as many points as you can. For example, building trust and social cohesion, ethical behavior fosters trust, and ensuring fairness and equity, right? Also, you will find examples, a lot of examples, either from either from public administration, good examples of civil servants, etc., who have shown ethical values, and who become the role model. So try to focus on those examples. In case you have problem finding examples, please comment all those things. And in the later session, I'll try to make sure that all the thinkers and all the examples are included, which you can add in your notes. Okay, comment it. and ensuring fairness and equity, promoting human welfare, how prioritizing humanism and human welfare over personal gain, and it also solves ethical dilemma as well. We can give example of Mahatma Gandhi, right? And then contemporary example of Tata, etc., engaging in CSR. You'll find ethics is all about examples. Okay, try to give as many examples as possible. Crisis management, how certain civil servants showed their ethical leadership. You can give example of Bhilwara model, and you can give other examples as well. So, ethics underpins trust, fairness, and social progress. Society that uphold ethical principles are better equipped for harmonious living and sustainable development. Okay, a very succinct conclusion. You can try to summarize whatever you have written, or you can give any thinker's point of view so that you are able to conclude the whole answer. And for the third, it is quotation based. Again, I have taken this in the first session of ethic itself because people, generally beginners, they face a lot of problems as to what to do with quotation. What are we supposed to do? So, for quotation, one thing I'll suggest you is to try to identify the theme it is from. Okay. So, falsehood, taking place of truth, etc. What is it? It is ethics at stake, ethics in public life, ethics in private life, right? So try to exactly pinpoint what the theme is, and then you can elaborate on your answer. For example, here we can just start with the quotation highlights a moral paradox where, under certain circumstances, falsehood may be ethically justifiable if it serves a greater common good. Right? It's very easy to understand, very simple. So you just have to break the quotation and try to understand in layman's term what it is actually saying. In the modern context, this can be seen in diplomacy and governance. Right? For example, this you can just write for example, and you can write in public safety, please. Okay. Ab, moving forward, we can give a subheading falsehood contributing to greater good, or you can just write small paragraphs and give examples in each of them, right? Ethical dilemma, absolute adherence to truth may not always be beneficial, right? For example, World War II times ethics, sorry, allies, they use some deception method so as to mislead access power. Give some example. You will find other examples in history, in polity, in environment as well. Utilitarian perspective aligns with utilitarian ethics, where actions are evaluated based on their consequences. Okay. Historical insight, how Chanakya led was the Indian strategist who endorsed the establishment of Mauryan Empire, right? Illustrating how ethics may prioritize greater good over strict truth telling. Okay. You can also give fictional example, like if a murderer comes to looking for your friend, will you be protecting your friend or will you be telling the murderer the truth? So sometimes falsehood is justifiable. Okay. Modern relevance, selective truth telling is often done, right? Like for example, during the vaccine campaign, if every uh, obviously we should try to ensure complete transparency, but at certain times complete transparency will erode public faith, and during those time you have to ensure that falsehood, well, not exactly falsehood but selective truth telling takes place, so that people's trust are restored and it is intact in the system, right? Moral safeguards. To use this principle requires caution. Falsehood should only be applied when genuinely serving the public good, right? It does not mean that you should go about telling lies. That is not what ethics is all about. Ethics is about human welfare, placing human at the center, not just human, but any life form at the center. While truth is paramount, there are exceptional circumstances where carefully managed falsehood can be ethically justified for the greater good. This requires clear ethical discernment to prevent potential misuse. Okay, so this concludes our session for today. I'll urge you, I'll urge you guys, please go and write as many answers as possible. And for the questions that is posted on the Telegram channel of CollectorBabu, please go there and write your answers, get it evaluated, and focus on answer writing during the period before you start preparing for prelims. Okay. So good luck, happy writing, and take care.